Hello, and welcome to Sy's Green Scene. I'm your host, Sy Lewis, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Together, we'll dive into the world of renewable energy and sustainable energy. We will be exploring the latest advancements in eco-friendly products and changes to the city of Chicago. Today, our special guest is you and the city of Chicago. So let's talk about the city. Chicago is known for its iconic skyline and robust architecture. It has embarked on a transformative journey towards sustainability. This transformation involves integrating innovative energy efficiency building designs and adopting stricter building codes. These efforts aim not only to reduce environmental impact, but also to redefine urban living for its citizens. That means you. Energy efficiency is crucial for several reasons. First, it can significantly reduce energy consumption, cutting down on utility bills, which of course we know is very important, and decreasing the overall environmental footprint. Secondly, energy efficient buildings ensure better air quality and healthier living conditions. In a city like Chicago, where extreme temperatures can affect day-to-day life, energy efficient buildings maintain a comfortable living environment without the excessive use or heating or cooling. So one of the things that we deal with in the city is the evolution of building codes. The building codes for Chicago and in the state of Illinois have changed. They've evolved over the decades to incorporate energy efficiency at their core. This evolution actually began earnestly in the early 2000s when the city adopted the Chicago Energy Conservation Code, which aligned with international standards for energy efficiency in building design and construction. These codes have been updated regularly to integrate the latest technology and practices, pushing developers to prioritize sustainability. That means to make your living more comfortable in the new buildings and address some of the issues in the old. So we deal with high-tech buildings. What is a high-tech building in the context of Chicago's green transformative? It utilizes cutting-edge technology to enhance energy efficiency, and key components, they include, smart thermostats. These are devices that automatically adjust heating and cooling settings based on real-time weather conditions and the occupant's preferences, significantly reducing energy wastage. So you may have heard of the Nest, which is a great way to use basically an AI energy efficient panel. So solar panels are also included, and they operate by harnessing solar energy. Buildings can operate a little bit more independently from the grid, reducing reliance on fossil fuels and promoting renewable energy use, which means fossil fuels being gas, having a less gas bill, and relying more on the sun. So the use of modern insulation coupled with these things, these technologies, not only help in maintaining temperatures, but also improve air quality and reduce noise pollution. It's amazing that these technologies are integrated into the building's design from the onset for new buildings. That ensures that they work seamlessly to maximize energy efficiency and comfort. The new building codes will be coming out soon, so everyone who works with buildings, from construction to electricians, will be looking ahead to the future trends in building technologies. And codes in Chicago points toward even greater integration of smart technology. So we all know what a smartphone does. We all know what the smart sockets do. So these technology and sustainable practices will ensure future trends significantly shift towards more sustainable, efficient, and occupant-focused urban environments. Those are the places that you live and need to be comfortable. As these technologies evolve and become more integrated into everyday building practices, they'll play a crucial role in shaping not only the physical, but also the social and environmental landscape of cities like Chicago. This evolution will necessitate ongoing learning, of course, adaptation and proactive policies, ensuring that they make buildings that can meet the challenges of the future while providing safe, sustainable, and pleasant spaces for all occupants. That means you and me. We want to live in a space that we can breathe easy, have less dust, and have less negative environmental impact. So the future of building technologies and codes are poised to significantly influence how cities around the world, including Chicago, sustainably function, and livability in their architecture and construction practices matter. Some of the key trends that we've been looking at that are expected to shape the future of building technologies and codes are smart building technologies. So integration of IoT, buildings that increasingly incorporate internet, which is really important. So anyone who is living in a property that doesn't have internet really has to deal with what it's like to perhaps go to a cafe. One of my favorites, Urban Lux Cafe, has internet, and many people in the community, they go and they sit to do the work that they need to do because they don't have internet in their homes. So it's increasingly important to incorporate internet, and there are some programs that will help anyone have internet. So to incorporate internet, that's what IoT, means, Internet of Things, to incorporate internet technologies and allow for real-time monitoring and control of various aspects of energy use, like your lighting. When I walk in, I can tell Alexa to turn the lights on or have them set to come on at a specific time. And HVAC systems, because I use my Nest to control the heating and cooling in my home. This will not only enhance energy efficiency, but also improve your overall comfort and safety. So if you look at things like Meadows East Side Light Up the Night program, which offers dusk to dawn light bulbs, both A19, which is a small light bulb, as well as floodlights to keep you safe. These are things like predictive maintenance. And predictive maintenance utilizes data analytics and machine learning, especially for our future buildings, which will be able to predict when components need maintenance before they fail, which is amazing. It's nothing worse than your furnace going out in the dead of winter in Chicago. This proactive approach reduces time and repair costs while extending the lifespan of your building systems. So that's whether you have a general furnace, a water heat pump system that heats your home. The renewable integration matters. So let's talk a little about something that I'm always sitting on the edge of, and that's solar energy. Solar energy will advance with the cost of solar technology decreasing. Mind you, it will advance with the cost of solar technology decreasing. Its integration into building designs will become more prevalent. Future building codes may require a certain percentage of renewable energy usage, pushing architects to embed solar panels not just on roofs, but integrated aesthetically within windows and facades. So imagine solar panels in your windows. As buildings generate more of their own power, effective energy storage solutions will become crucial. Future trends include the integration of battery storage to manage energy loads and provide power during peak times of outage. That's amazing. So then you don't have to rely on ComEd getting to you when you need them to, but knowing that you have energy stored and your lights will come on, at least some of your electric usage at home will be available. So what is a green building? Green buildings use materials and techniques which will expand to include biodegradable. So biodegradables, they are renewable building materials like construction materials such as hempcrete. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's HEMCRETE, bamboo, and mycelium. These are composites, often sustainable alternates that reduce environmental impact. So when they say sustainable, these advanced insulation materials include vacuum insulation panels, phase changing materials, and will provide superior usage and longevity. If you've ever seen just a bamboo table, the strength of the wood that's used, the strength and sustainability. So bamboo is a natural product, hemp is a natural product. These are all things that we use in our daily lives and may not even notice. So let's take, for instance, a bamboo table. You can go into any furniture store and we may not notice the type of wood. Bamboo wood is a little bit more expensive, but the luxury and the beauty of it make a difference in the longevity and the look. Also, like a lot of older homes in the city of Chicago that have hardwood floors, that wood is no longer being harvested. So what you have is it forever. If it needs replacement, you may have to basically cut and paste because, again, that wood is no longer harvested. You may be able to go to a place like the Restore store to get some of these materials. And if you note, then that means you are using a sustainable practice by going to a store where you can buy things for your home, though they are used, are in great enough condition to be restored. So that's one less tree cut down, that's one less toxic material that's being used, and that's one less thing that goes into the landfill. So if you could scroll on, you will understand that you will provide superior performance in your home by having these types of material. These materials help in maintaining optimal indoor temperatures as well, and they use less energy. I don't know if you remember, and if you haven't, please go back and take a look at Cy's Green Scene, where we hosted Sharon Waller. Sharon is a water engineer, and she's also a candidate for the Water Reclamation District. One of the things that is most exciting about Sharon is she is an engineer and an expert on water conservation technologies. She spoke to the importance of water conservation and community safety. And we spoke during that show about some of the floods that we had and some of the upcoming legislation that may really impact how we live. One of those things is like rainwater harvesting. Future building codes may mandate the inclusion of rainwater harvesting. A rainwater harvesting system reduces dependence on municipal water systems and decreases the building's environmental footprint. So mind you, if you're harvesting rainwater and you're not paying as much in your water bill, water reuse systems, it's called gray water and black water recycling systems, will become standard in buildings, especially in water scarce areas. So that could be in downstate Illinois, or it could be in some areas in Chicago. It significantly reduces freshwater demand, and promoting sustainable water management practices will matter, let's say, to how you water your grass and how much your water bill will decrease or increase during the summer. So building code regulations, building codes will likely evolve to the more adaptive and dynamic. So that's using data-driven approaches to update requirements based on the latest research and technologies. So what's a performance-based code? So a performance-based code is a code that will be able to shift from prescriptive, always mandated that way, to performance-based, where the focus will be on the outcome, such as energy consumption levels or carbon emissions, rather than on specifying the methods achieved to come to these outcomes. So there was a new word that I had learned when I was doing this research, and it's called biophilic. So biophilic design is a concept that aims to connect people with nature in modern buildings and landscapes. I find it to be quite amazing. It can be used at both the building and full city scale, and it can include natural lighting, ventilation, natural landscape, and other elements. Future building codes may require elements that connect the residents more closely to nature. Let's say like a living wall, or more landscaping with native flowers, native grasses. It improves the well-being and reduces the energy costs for those living in those properties. So the incorporation of natural elements in biophilic design, which it integrates natural elements into the built environment. So you may have walked into a restaurant and it may become a standard practice where you'll see a living wall. And a living wall is something that may have succulent plants that are growing on the wall. And what this does is it helps to clean the air, it enhances your health, and it has psychological benefits of connecting with nature. And these connected spaces lend to a better sense of calm. So there are some places here in Chicago, and I'll be showing you some pictures shortly of rooftop and vertical gardens. These rooftop and vertical gardens will not only provide aesthetic and environmental benefits, but also contribute to building insulation, air purification, and urban architecture. Rooftop gardens are becoming a staple of green building design in Chicago. And it is setting a pace and a trend for other cities around the country. They not only provide residents with green spaces to relax and socialize, but it also plays a critical role in managing stormwater. So that means it helps in reducing heat absorption and improves air quality. Note, I've mentioned air quality and water quite a bit. So these gardens are part of a broader strategy to combat urban heat islands and to provide ecosystems for urban wildlife, which if you live on the southeast side, you may see a lot of coyotes are in the suburbs. So it's really important to use human-centric and inclusive designs. And adaptive and flexible spaces in future buildings, which will be more adaptable, also a little bit more capable of changing their functions as the needs of the residents change. which will be critical in post-pandemic design thinking. So if you just kind of look back on post-pandemic and having to be indoors and not having any green space, this inclusive design and these building codes will increasingly require designs that are accessible, inclusive, and will ensure that buildings cater to all individuals regardless of their physical abilities. Building automation systems, that's an acronym. BAS is an acronym for Building Automative Systems, will increasingly use AI to manage everything from energy use to elevator operations and optimizing the entire building's performance. We're moving toward net zero buildings. So, net zero is the ultimate goal. The building that produces as much energy as they consume, becoming completely self-sustainable. So if you are using a lot of electricity and you have solar, all of these things come into play. So I have some final thoughts, and I would really love to encourage community involvement. The transformation of Chicago into a city of green buildings is not just a matter of policy and technology. It's a community movement. I'm sure you've seen the many urban gardens. You may have been to a Roseland and you've seen the windmills. Residents are encouraged to participate in sustainability efforts throughout community programs. So the community programs and initiatives like gardening, whether you're growing all plants or you're putting in native flowers, native grasses, as well as supporting local policies that promote green building practices. So if you've listened carefully here, you'll understand this will make a change in how you live. Volunteering in local green projects or implementing energy saving measures at home. So that may be just getting a rain chain so when the water runs down. Everybody can contribute to a greener future. Chicago's commitment to transforming into a city defined by sustainability and innovation in green building practices is setting a benchmark for cities worldwide. Through stricter building codes, the adoption of high-tech, energy efficiency technologies, and the active involvement of its communities, Chicago is leading by example in the quest for a sustainable urban future. So I'd like to show you some photographs of some of the most beautiful spaces we have in Chicago, and I'm hoping that you've had the opportunity to take a look at them. One of the places that I love to go to see how we are managing sustainability is I love to go to the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is amazing. And did you know that City Hall has an urban garden on its roof? It does. It's quite amazing. If you are ever afforded the opportunity to visit, please do. And in the meantime, please enjoy the photos of the rooftop, as well as one of the buildings, not one of, but the Obama Foundation, the Obama's Presidential Center, is going to be LEED certified. It is a sustainable green environment, as you can see by the picture. It's in a park, but it's not just that portion. It's the way the building is cooled. It's the electricity. It's the sustainable materials that are used. So those are just a few of the places that I can recommend, but please do take the time to look it up, Google it, see what green buildings are existing. The Greater Inglewood Chamber and Felicia Stanton, who was also a guest, They took residents on a tour of a LEED certified green property, and it's really innovative in how we're going to start to live. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope this information has been meaningful to you. It is going to happen. It will change your lives. It will make a big difference when we start to have days that are 91 degrees, 100 degrees, and when we have days that are 2 degrees or 35 degrees. You want to be warm in the winter and cool in the summer, and you want to be able to enjoy the environment that you live in. So again, thank you for joining Sy's Green Scene. I'd like to thank my production team, and of course, as always, I'd like to thank Lauren Wright at The Right Style Beauty and my executive board for affording me the time to be here. You all are amazing. I appreciate so very much all of you looking at our YouTube channel and seeing all the different shows. It's going to, again, change the way that you live. And one of the things that Meadows Eastside is always looking to do is changing the way we see our community. So again, thank you, and I'll see you next time.